guys, we have a big breaking news coming out. President Donald Trump just put out a statement. It says here to all airlines, pilots, drug dealers, and human traffickers, please consider the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Hold on. Venezuela airspace? President Donald Trump said to all airlines, pilots, drug dealers, and human traffickers, please consider the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed. Closed. It seems like the conversation between Donald and Nicholas didn't went well. Alright guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife Jessica Santiago at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also description box. Thank you again for your support, guys. I really appreciate it. I did get the Cash App link, support, coffee a day. I really appreciate it, guys. I got the big one. I needed the big one. Thank you so much for that Cash App coffee a day. Yeah, let's see what's going on here. Look at this picture, guys. Look at this picture that's coming out. If you hear my dog in the background, he's just... he just want to play with my pit bull. My pit bull is just becoming more lazy. He doesn't want to run around. All right, so here's a picture, and the entire region of Venezuela, all this here, everything, all of it has been completely sealed off. President Donald Trump just put out the statement literally 30 minutes ago. All this has been completely sealed off. Venezuela airspace. All right, so that means that there's a possibility we're going to see some possibly airstrikes. Perhaps the F-18s could be dropping something. And I do believe that, again, he mentioned the drug dealers. There's a possibility the U.S. might hit the drug dealers' facilities in those regions, possibly around somewhere in Venezuela. Alright, so we're going to hear something pretty soon, guys. Alright, give me a second here. Let me just remove that. There we go. So, President of the U.S. declares airspace above Venezuela is to be closed entirely as he ramps up lethal strikes. The U.S. President has declared the airspace over Venezuela to be closed in its entirety as the U.S. continues to threaten military action against the country. There's a possibility they might do this by the end of November, beginning of December. Only the president knows. Whoops, really apologize. Now it says here in a Saturday morning post to his Truth Social, he asked all airlines, pilots, drug dealers, and others to steer clear of the area. Warships, aircraft, and military personnel have moved into position near the Caribbean country in the last few months, raising fears that the U.S. president is preparing for military action. Wow. The Trump administration has accused Venezuelan leader Nicholas of leading and protecting a criminal network known as the Cartel. All right, so Donald believes that Nicholas, the president of Venezuela, is the leader of the gang cartel, bringing in all the product into our country. It says here, troops have been amassing in Puerto Rico, and I have families in Puerto Rico. I have a lot of families and friends, and they've been saying that there's a lot of activity going on in Puerto Rico, and most of them, it seems like, is in the eastern part of Puerto Rico. Some 500 miles from the South American country, with General Dan Kane, Trump military advisor, visiting the area on Monday. Now, the shift is militarily posture has coincided with warnings from U.S. officials that their operation is entering what they call a new phase. The announcement on Saturday morning comes after a New York Times report emerged on Friday that said the president has spoken with Nicholas in the last week. The conversation included a potential meeting between the two leaders, and Secretary of State Rubio reportedly joined the call as well. Now, for those of you that don't know, Rubio, he don't like Nicholas. He don't like him one bit. So Donald, he's surrounded with Rubio. Rubio's the one that's giving him the information. Donald, don't trust this man. Don't trust this man. This man is being nice, but don't trust him. He's a snake, basically. So once again, warships, aircraft, and military personnel has moved into position in the last few months, raising fears that the president is preparing for military action. Now, the president made the announcement in a post to his Truth Social on Saturday morning, 7:43 a.m. Wow. He woke up this morning and said, you know what? I'm closing the airspace. Another source clarified to the publication that there are currently no concrete plans between the two leaders. Now, the commander-in-chief has also cracked down on suspected of the gang from the country launching missile strikes on suspected vessels. Now, current and former officials at the Pentagon have estimated that the lethal campaign against suspected Venezuelan gangs has taken over 80 people, including 11 on board a boat hit by a U.S. missile strike in September, according to the Washington Post. On Friday, the Post reported that two sources with direct knowledge of the operation said that U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth gave intelligence analysts monitoring the boat instructions to take out everybody on board on September the 2nd. The sources said that the first missile struck the boat and set it on fire, but officials saw two survivors clinging to the wreck once the smoke cleared. In line with Pete Hegseth lethal direction, a second missile was fired, and the two survivors were, in the water. I can't say certain stuff here, guys. Hegseth fired back on the reporting of his chilling message taken to X on Friday and calling it fabricated, inflammatory, and derogatory. Since the strike, the Pentagon was estimated to have launched missiles on at least 22 more boats, according to internal data seen by the Post. Now, they're really sending a message to all those vessels out there, them boats. Now, these are the stuff that is out there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing a whole bunch of support vessels out there near the Panama Canal. On the left side, you see this one here on the left bottom corner, right next to that delicious whipped cream cherry. All right, so we are seeing that there's a lot of stuff out there in the Panama Canal. That's like the Pacific Ocean region. You go up here towards this area, the Gulf of America, you got all this stuff going on here. And then you go in this area here, the Atlantic Ocean. And then you have, man, what in the world are you doing up there? F-35, V-22. Okay, again, they're surrounding this region. You know why? Venezuela has allies, Russia, that could come from this territory where this cherry is at. They'll be coming into this area, so they're really securing this region. Then you have right next to Puerto Rico, you got what is the USS Ford? Oh, Ford is way up. Man, what are you doing up there? Ford was down here not too long ago. Now it's way up there in the Gulf of America. Wow. All right, so there's been a lot of shifting going on these last couple of days. fort is way up there, right next to Florida. Where's the submarine? I'm looking for the submarine. I'm not seeing it here. I don't know what's a submarine. I know there was a submarine here somewhere. They might have moved this and somewhere else, but that is the latest update picture there. Secretary of State Rubio announced earlier this month that as of Monday, the department named the gangs as a foreign T organization. Now, Marco Rubio stated that the gang is a group of high-ranking individuals following Nicholas who have corrupted the country military, intelligence, legislature, and judiciary, including invoking the T, violence, and traffic drugs. Once again, the Trump administration has been vocally opposed to Nicholas, with Rubio calling the leader and president. So basically saying that Nicholas is not the rightful leader. He didn't win. It's like Joe in 2021. I don't think he received that 83 million, on Thanksgiving, a week after the reported phone call, the U.S. president told service members that the administration was expanding military efforts to land strike. In recent weeks, you've been working to the tier Venezuelan gangs, of which there are many. Of course, there aren't too many coming in by sea anymore. The U.S. president added that it was easier to intercept potential of these gang traffickers on land and that it would be starting very soon. So they're going to start arresting. Instead of hitting the vessel, they're going to follow them and they're going to park somewhere, which eventually will be arrested. All right, so we warn them. Stop sending poison to our sleeping giant country. In the past week, Navy vessels have been seen sailing increasingly closer to the South American nation. The new wave of deployments began in August with the arrival of the Iwo Jima Amphibious Ready Group in October. The U.S. announced that the 1,106 feet USS Gerald Ford, the biggest U.S. aircraft carrier in the world, the largest aircraft carrier in the world, will also join the mission. The carrier reached Caribbean waters on November 11 with more than 4,000 sailors, fighter jets, and support vessels, including the USS Thomas Hunter, USS Rampage, and USS Normandy. The Ford brings with it F-35 Sea Stealth fighters, considered the world's most advanced fighter to operate from a carrier deck. Boom. Man, it's not coming alone. It's coming with a whole bunch of group. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Leave comments down below. The entire airspace of Venezuela has been completely locked down, closed, do not travel, no pilots. You guys are not allowed to fly in this region, which could lead to missile strike. That's what it is, missile strikes. Some kind of imminent operation that's about to hit the fan pretty soon. Additionally, there are 10 U.S. Marine Corps F-35 stationed in Puerto Rico, along with AV-8 Harrier jump jets and AH-1 attack helicopter. Some of the warships come equipped with extremely powerful surveillance radars capable of detecting surface and aerial targets. They also have long-range missiles that can strike deep into Venezuela. Roughly 2,000 U.S. troops were already in the region before the reinforcements arrived. With the new arrival, analysts estimate the total number of personnel at around 12,700. Nicolas, 63 years old, has been the president of Venezuela since 2013. He has been called a dictator who has presided over a corruption gov. His premiership has also been dogged by electoral, allegations and human rights abuses. Thousands of people have been subjected to extrajudicial, look at this, taking out under his watch, while millions of people have been forced to flee the country. Nicolas also has the backing of Vladimir Putin, who has supplied Venezuela with billions of weapons. Hold on, what do you mean billions of weapons? Man, the two signed a strategic partnership treaty in May of this year. Billions of weapons. Do you know what billions of weapons? They might have been mistaken. Thousands of weapons. Billions of weapons. That's crazy. That is absolute crazy. If that's the case, if they send billions of weapons, Nicholas gave them all the gold. Alright, so this is where we at right now, guys. This is the latest breaking news updates. The entire airspace of Venezuela has been completely shut down, closed. No pilots, nothing is allowed to fly, going in or out. This is the next step closer to an imminent strike on this country. We are seeing it, living it, witnessing Bible prophecy of nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, happening right in front of our faces. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell. Check out the videos I posted today. If you like this content, you already know what to do. And I want to thank every single one of you for your support. Now, Patreon, I couldn't do this week because of Thanksgiving and traveling all over the place. Again, guys, I'll make it up. I had to go see my family. Haven't seen my mother in a very long time, and it was a blessing to see her. It was one of the greatest moments. I haven't seen my mother in a very long time. But again, I truly apologize about the Patreon. I usually go live once a week. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Till next time later. Peace.